Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna just do this really quick, and I'm not gonna do my whole intro. I'm Oreo. I'm the jungler for the competitive team Vex Gaming NA Academy. I think that's what we're called. Anyway, I'm 20 years old from Canada. I play Dongate excessively because I love this game, and I absolutely adore everything about it, except a few things. So I'm not gonna sit here and bash the game or bash the devs or anything, or bash players often. Sometimes I will, because sometimes you need to be told how much you suck. Sometimes I need to be told how much I suck, actually. So, I mean, it's just a whole community thing. We need to, as a community, tell each other, with all the respect in the world, how much we all suck at this game still. So, yeah. Let's talk about the jungle, quickly. Number one thing about jungler, it's hard. It takes a lot of brain power. It's a chess game. You just need to always be thinking, right? So that's like the basic premise of the jungle, and there are 4 styles of jungling, but I'm not going to get into that today because I want today to be actually about something fun. So let's talk about, we can talk about the map a little bit. So the map is a 2-lane map for anyone who doesn't actually know this already, and if you don't know this already, I don't know what you've been doing for the last couple weeks, because if you've been playing Donkey, you haven't realized that, oh, we only have 2 lanes. I'm sorry, I don't think you should be playing anymore. But yeah. So, lane map facts. Got it. So the map, we have 3 buffs on the map, and each buff gives XP and a buff. And so there's the armor buff, the haste buff, and the power buff. So haste gives you move speed, cooldown, whatever. Haste gives you, power gives you power. Yeah, and armor gives you armor. On the old map, the old items and stuff, jungling, you felt really underpowered. I mean, you could snowball the game really fast into your favor, and it would just be really crazy, but you couldn't really carry from the jungle, because if you tried to carry too hard, you probably would just get destroyed by the enemy AD carry, who is Mr. Face Death with 1 item, roll steam destroyer of all world thing carry, aka Ruin. He would just ruin you. Ha, get it, pun, ruin. It's not really funny anymore. That item still haunts my nightmares. But yeah, so if you remember those old days, then you, like me, are like, fuck, good thing we got rid of Ruin in map 2.0, which I absolutely adore. The art's better, the map size is better, the corridors are better for ganking. Everything's better about it. The XP's better. I like it. So, let's just talk about map 2.0 and the things that came with it. Itempalooza, particularly. In the old map, junglers really only had 1, maybe 2 item paths. You would go glory into some type of magic resist item, into some type of another armor item, into something else, usually? I don't even know. Man, we would just build weird things. Like, I saw the Petrus as a thing. You had, like, Ruin, full haste damage Moya. You had, like, god tier damage Sal's. I don't even know what that was about. We had silly builds. So, because the items weren't really specified for us, we were kind of just like, oh, well, this is kind of good-ish. So we move over to map 2.0. And map 2.0 is all about, we have all these items. Ooh, shiny items, shiny items. Ooh, look at all the items. And again, junglers are kind of boned because we only have like 5 or 6 items. You look at a jungler build, this is basically a jungler build. One of the 2 pride items. Usually vengeance, because everyone likes hitting things and like seeing fireworks or something like that. Stability, because, we kind of need to not be CC'd for 5 billion years. Hope, because hope is just really fucking good and you can't get over it. Now this is where things start to get really kind of iffy, and depends on who you are. Sometimes you see adamance, sometimes you see perseverance, sometimes you'll see subjugation, sometimes you'll see, so one of the armor tree items, then you go into either a faith, a hope, a betrayal, one of those items, right? I mean, these are all except for Freya and Volek. Freya and Volek are their own species in their own right, and they have their own builds that you have to kind of do on them to make them good. So this is just basically the everyone else junglers. Now, then, if you look at the haste tree, there's actually a really cool item called Grace. And there's another one, it's like Banner of Command in League of Legends. Okay, nothing like Banner of Command, but it looks like Banner of Command, and that's why I call it Banner of Command. It's like if you are X amount, it's command boots. There, the commander boots. If you're farther ahead, people running towards you get movement speed, and Grace is basically a spammable Jinx passive, AoE Jinx passive. Because if you get a kill or an assist, your whole team gets sped up for like 2 seconds ridiculously. So you basically can make the Sivir ult comp if you really felt like it with that. So that's Grace, and I think those two are probably the most interesting items in the entire game at this point. I haven't really tried out the Command Banner one. I've tried with Grace a lot, and I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, you can. I would even say pick up one of those two items if you really want to do cool things as a jungler and not just build the standard stuff. And they give you good stats too, so you're not losing out on anything. And then you're gonna want some type of damage item. One of your aggression, or so it's gonna be justice or an aggression item. Most likely judgment for most people. I also like inevitability, actually. Inevitability is a really good item if you have an AoE ability, because it'll slow everyone around you, and then you can keep. So like on Salas, I love it because I'll just Q somebody, and that'll be it. They just won't get away from me. And then there's people like Moya who can use things like Zeal. There's interesting items still out there. So like your first 3 slots are going to look like everyone else's. It's going to be Hope and 2 HP / Armor MR items, which are going to be stability and thing. And then you're going to want to go from there into usually something interesting, and then an armor item and another magical item to get your stats up. And you're going to want your HP item, your magical item to give you HP, of course. And your last item you want to give HP, or at least something interesting to your kit. So, yeah, I'm not going to give you builds, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, do this build because it's really good. No, it's just, this is kind of what you want to look for. Look at those 3 core items, and you're going to want to work out from there. And if you're theory crafting builds, honestly, just go crazy. Pick an item. I mean, there's stuff that you shouldn't buy, like, not potency. Actually, potency is pretty cool. I haven't even thought of that. Potency is another really good one, and so is finesse. But there's things like rampancy you just shouldn't have. I mean, if you're going for a full tank build, 800 health isn't bad, but I prefer the other one. Vengeance, I think it's called, where you get the resets. I mean, Desecrator with Vengeance, man. Desecrator jungle is actually a thing, and I think it's kind of cool. But a reset on all your abilities? Are you crazy? Like, I could get 7 sets of stuns off. Why not, right? Rebirth is also always a possibility if you're going for a full tank build. It really just comes down to what you need. If your team needs more damage, you're going to want to itemize your last 3 items into more damagey tanks, so like bruisery items. If your team needs a lot more tankiness, you need to completely itemize into tankiness. And with maybe one interesting item or a damage item, because you need something. You need something to offer your team besides just tanks. Yeah, so that's kind of my opinion right now on itemization in the jungle. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I can get into more into depth on it because there's a lot of stuff that is very, very interesting to me. But I'll do it on a later date. I'll come back and I'll sit down and have a list of like maybe these 5 items I want to talk about. And honestly, if I had to talk about one, it would just be Grace, because I absolutely adore that item. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, honestly, if you learn one thing from this podcast today, and besides that I can ramble on about an item for like 20 minutes, Grace, try it. Don't knock it till you try it. Grace, Zeal, and that banner item, the 3 haste items, try them. They're so good. Zeal is a little bit different. Zeal's only on certain shapers like Moya. Like Moya Zeal's pretty cool for early game and mid game. Late game, your ultimate's not as like you don't need the cooldown reduction it gives you, but it gives you something to do. So but it's expensive. So it's kind of a it's item, but it's a really cool idea. So honestly, if all you take away from me today is just try these items out, try them. So tomorrow I'm going to come back with maybe some conversation about the 4 types of jungling, I think, is what I'm going to do tomorrow. Because that's what I wanted to do today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow because I thought this was a way more interesting topic, was talking about cool items and cool shiny things, because I like shiny things. So yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. So until then, later days, and good luck.